Hey, what's up everybody? Today is a fun day at the studio for me because not only do I have a brand new drum set, this is the Alesis Strata Prime. It is their new high-end electronic drum set, $3,500, insanely amazing module capability. The whole thing is crazy, but as you can already see, I have an insanely talented drummer here as well, Mr. JRod Sullivan. Now, this dude is incredible. I love watching him play. You typically see him on a Pearl acoustic kit like this, and of course it sounds phenomenal, and just his playing, his articulations, his timing, his dynamics, the speed, it is insane. Now the question is, will that translate to an electronic kit? Lower level electronic kits would probably have a hard time keeping up with the speed and the dynamics and the way that JRod approaches the drums. So today we're gonna see if this kit with the 360-degree cymbals, the 8, 10, 12, 14 toms, which is like the same sizes that JRod typically plays, and just the brain itself, all of the options, all of the ways that you can customize the sounds, will that be enough for a professional drummer like JRod? Will it keep up with him? We're about to find out, and we're gonna get blown away by some incredible drumming. So let's check it out. Alright, so I'm here with JRod now on the Alesis Strata Prime kit. So excited to have you here. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me, bro.
As you can see, this kit shouldn't be too crazy of a difference because you got similar sizes. Like, they actually took the time to think about, like, oh, hey, you know, different size toms and like full 14-inch snare. Everything is dual triggered, so you got your rim clicks, and you got one of the cool things about it is the articulations. So every voice is different levels of articulation. So instead of just like, hey, you know, hit a drum and it just gradually gets louder, it actually, like in the studio, they smack the drum really hard, like the way that you play. So I think that you'll find the sounds are a little more pleasing in the way that they translate. The cymbals are 360. So when you perform, grab them, choke them, you know, touch them, whatever you want to do, anywhere on the cymbal, and it should, you know, just play almost like a normal cymbal. You know?
Sweet,
so,
man. Awesome.
Let's start with a little performance, and
cool.
You just, you know, pick a few kits, and let's see those chops just go to town on this thing here, all right?
For sure, man. So the kit I was messing with earlier is the Artist Birch Proc 1. So I'm going to check it out, man. I was liking that kit, so let's see what it sounds like.
All right. Dude, every time. All right, so, well, first off, wow, okay. How are you feeling? Like,
I feel good, man. The response is great. I can hear everything that I was doing in detail. Even the ghost notes, I picked those up well. Just the small nuances, man. It really responds well.
yeah, I was impressed because one of my favorite things about your playing is just your dynamic, like, changes and also how much clarity and how strong each note is. You know, like even when you're playing that fast stuff, you're still hitting the drum well, which it's responding and giving you those louder samples and the more dynamic samples, which is really, really cool. So,
yeah, man.
You want to try another sound?
Let me go through another. Let's see. I want to do something different.
Yeah. Oh wait, one second. So one thing about this kit is it has a adjustment for each player for the hi-hat. So let's go through that. I mean, it sounded like it was triggering everything really well for you, but just to make sure the hi-hat is exactly the way you want,
for sure,
we can go to settings, or no, sorry, trigger edit right there.
Trigger, is it touchscreen?
Yeah, it's touchscreen.
Nice.
And so then up here, hi-hat setup.
All right.
So you just let the hi-hat down all the way.
Okay. And then press the pedal?
Oh, first you let it down all the way and then you click set.
Okay.
So once it's down all the way, you hit set. And then you push the pedal down to where you want it.
Got it.
And then tighten it down real good. And then you hit finish.
Finish. While I'm holding it down?
No, you can, I think you let it up.
Let it up?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so now it should be tuned to exactly the response that you would like out of your hi-hat.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
There you go. Bro, I was gonna get you another stick, and I was like, he don't need another stick, man. He's just give him the one. That's all. You save money on sticks. You just buy one at a time,
right,
you know.
Right.
All right, so I think it's clear this thing keeps up with you quite well.
Man, it does.
Did you have any issues? Like
no issues, man. I like this. What's this kit that I'm using right now? The Elise's tight steel kit.
Yeah.
This is my favorite right now.
That sounds.
I'm feeling this kit.
That sounds good. Now, obviously, the triggering is the most important thing. Like
sure.
you know, if it's not gonna trigger well, then you can't. As a professional, you can't use this kit. You can't go out on a gig with it. You can't use it in the studio
Facts.
if it doesn't catch you. But outside of that, obviously, we've established the fact it can keep up with you.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the brain of a kit like this, especially when you're spending $3,500, this is a pretty big investment.
For sure.
You need that to be able to do a lot of things. You know,
Absolutely.
like, do you use some electronics on the road?
I do.
Okay,
I
so
do.
what kind of features are like important to you from that aspect?
Well, obviously the response, but also like the just making sure that there's no like crosstalk or interference between from trigger to trigger.
Yeah.
And just making sure that everything is just accurate and precise, which I'm experiencing right now. it's giving me what I'm looking for, man. Other than that, I think I like to add like a little bit of reverb sometimes. So yeah, man, that's really the only thing that I look for as far as effects on the show and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. So if you right here, you're in the editing of the triggers, and so this is where you can change like your rim sensitivity, your head threshold, your rim threshold, head sensitivity, the different curve on response.
Gotcha.
First thing that I did was I needed to change the response on the kick drum, and just instead of having, because it has the option of where you have to hit it really, really hard to get the highest sound, but I don't want to just be smashing it all the time. So I changed it to like a curve that actually responds a little bit less aggressive and still get that high end note. But if we go back to kit, we can go to kit edit, and this is what you're gonna love. So this is your kit, and if you want to change something, you just click on it. So like, hey, let's change the snare drum. Now look at all these snare drum options over here. Like, I mean, you can scroll through. You got 13-inch snares. You got, that's like a done it titanium. You got you got like pretty much any size and any like copper. I mean, these are like, all of them have been sampled so well. You snare off if you need a snare off or something. Another cool thing we'll go back here for a second. This right here, so a lot of E-kits, you have to go in and change the actual setting in the settings menu if you want a side stick or you want a click, like just a rim click. And so now in the middle of your show, if you are in the verse, you want the rim click, but then you want to be able to switch back over to side stick. It's one knob, seamless. You know, like it's very quick to be able to do that. Back to the kit edit. Now these are cool down here. So you've got your damping, so you can actually change the dampening. You put the wide open tone on there, and you can dampen it. You got your attack, you got your tuning, dynamics, pan.
That's awesome.
I mean, whole lot of features there. And then you go to the mixer. And here's where you can add all your effects. You could add reverb, compression, delay. There's a whole slew of different effects that allow you to really take the drums, like the samples they put in here, and make them exactly JRod. You could have a kit where you were like, nobody else in the world can touch exactly what I've put here because I've layered so many effects on it. I've changed so many pieces of the EQ. And someone with a mind like yourself that's so particular about your sound, so particular about the way that it's approached. I mean, it's really cool to see all that it can do.
And can you add effects to like each individual drum, or is it just globally?
So like right now we're on kick, so you could add 3-4 effects to your kick drum however you want. You just click the button here, and now you can scroll through distortion, compressor, expander, lifts, maximizers. There's just like a whole bunch of stuff.
Nice.
And you put that on there, and then so let's just add. I don't know what I just clicked on. Wait, go back. Let's add a compressor. So now that's on there. We go back. And here are your compressor settings. So you just spin those little knobs. You can change every little thing about that compressor.
Nice.
And it's really intuitive. That's one of the things that I noticed was that when you want to adjust the kit, to be able to just like click on you're like, oh, and you hear the sound. So like you know what it is right now. You can change it and like it's set up well with the ins and outs too. Like my favorite part for the outputs is the fact that it has XLR balanced outputs. So instead of needing a DI on stage, you just plug straight out of this thing. Bring a couple of snake cables, you never forget the DI again, That's a little tour of the module and the brain, and that's the thing about it, like for me, is this has to work.
For sure.
But if I'm going to spend $3,500, like this needs to be pretty good too.
Oh yeah, the brain has to be good.
This is crazy. Like
it is, man.
The level of settings and stuff. So
for sure.
I want to see you play a little bit more.
Okay.
I just really enjoy watching you play. So if you want to pick a couple more options here and have some fun, I'm going to stick this back on your kick drum.
All right. Let's see. Does it have categories?
You yourself can go in and set your own presets.
Gotcha.
So what you can do with that is like you pick the kits and your user kits. So this has like 75 kits on it already. It's only 40 gigabytes of the 128 gigabyte solid state drive. So you have basically infinite room for additional kits that you want to put on. But say you craft like 3 or 4 different kits that you love for a show and you got to change it throughout. You can go in and set up your own playlist of those kits where they're just right back to back in a row inside of the brain here. So you can be like, all right, first song, all right, now change it next song. Like makes it pretty simple. All right, JRod, so thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for checking out this kit. I certainly, I've put it through its paces a little bit, but the speed and the dynamics and all that, like, it's nice to just see that not only can it stand up to my playing and a lot of bashing, like hitting really hard, like the durability is important, but it can stand up to your playing too. So
for sure, man.
This is the Alesis Strata Prime kit. This is JRod Sullivan. If you didn't already know who he is, which you probably do, make sure you follow him on Instagram. Make sure you check him out on YouTube. This guy, you're not going to regret it. I mean, you've already seen. Now, you probably already looked him up during this video because that's just how awesome this guy's playing is. And,
thank you, man.
Here's a neat kit that can stand up to it, which is really awesome.
Man.
Props to Alesis for pulling together a kit that a guy like this can not only, like, it works, but you enjoy it. You liked it. You had fun with it. So
I love it.
Thank you for watching. You can click the link in the description, go check out the kit, and make sure you go check out JRod. Links in the description for that as well.